So now I want to talk about the performance of the Nikon V1 camera, which I think is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, point of this camera. So let's do a quick autofocus test, a very informal test, but just to let you see how fast this camera focuses. Of course, this camera has the hybrid phase detect and contrast detect autofocus system. So it basically uses phase detect when the lighting is strong enough and goes back to contrast detect when the lighting is low. So in this case, the lighting is good enough. This is about 100 watts lighting in a small room, so not the brightest conditions, but still it's good enough for the phase detect at an aperture of f2.8 on the 10mm lens. So let's see here. As you can tell, it's almost instant. It's as if it is in focus already. So let's try switching between this and a farther object. It's pretty much instant. The box turns green imperceptibly soon after you have pressed the shutter. So there's almost no hunting going on. It's by all means instantaneous. So here, sometimes over here, this is on the borderline of being low light enough that it does use contrast detect. So how about let me turn down the light to see what it's like when the lighting is poor. Okay, so now the lighting is much lower, about half of what it was before. Let's see, how does it fare? Now it's turning on the autofocus assist, but once the AF assist goes off, I think it still resorts to phase detect. So let's turn off the built-in AF assist, see how can it cope. This is still using phase detect, so it's very impressive. At such a low light condition, as you can see in the outer frame of this video, it's still using phase detect. So let's say I make it even darker, still phase detect. So pretty impressive. And when it does hunt, so I'm having a hard time trying to make it hunt for focus, which is very good. So when it does hunt, it takes about average compared to other mirrorless cameras in low light conditions, so nothing special there. But most of the time, even in this low light condition, as you can tell, so it was hunting a little bit using contrast detect, but most of the time it's still phase detect. So, but one problem is when it doesn't achieve focus, like right now when it gives a red box because I'm too close, I cannot take a picture at all, so I can't just press down the shutter. I have to refocus. So maybe that's fixable by firmware in the future, but that is very limiting in that you can't take a picture when it thinks that it's not in focus. But with such a small sensor, usually a lot of things are in focus even though it thinks it's not in focus, so you can still take an okay picture, but it doesn't let you do that. So that's one caveat of the autofocus system. But all in all, probably one of the fastest autofocus systems on any camera I've used, including the D7000, D300, D700, and so on.